back to the SA Sports Show. Time to talk a little bit of Southern Football League, mate. Every week we get this bloke in. He's the president of the Southern Footy League. Craig Warman joins us. Hey, mate.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Good to see you.
Terrific.
Good to see you. It's really hotting up in the Southern Footy League at the minute, isn't it? We talked to Jared Wright not long ago about the closeness of the competition. This is similar. The Southern Footy League at the moment, it's a little bit difficult to pick a winner.
Yeah, and with Jared, the rapport that's between SASS and the zone now is as good as it's ever been.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of kids from Southern Footy League that are now drifting over to SASS. If you look through their junior grades, their 18s are doing really well. A lot of the boys from that are from Southern Footy League, the reserves. So there's a really good sprinkling from Southern Football League drifting into the South competition.
Because we've talked about this before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where I thought that South Adelaide over the years, Tim, in my time, not neglected, but they didn't pump it hard enough, their own zone. It's a huge area down there and a football area, a real footy area. I just thought they could have been stronger sooner.
Yeah, I think since taking it down to Noarlunga, I think that's when everything probably turned and it felt like you were more connected and then getting good people in the right seats, as we know, really does help with that development.
Yeah, it does. Now, mate, some really good games on the weekend. One in particular, Morphett Vale Christie's Beach. Now, you know, you're sitting on the bottom of the ladder and, you know, some guy takes a mark and bang, kicks a goal in. Run us through the last minute there of that game, mate, because that one turned out to be a 1-point ball game.
Well, I'll set the scene a little bit. It was the 40-year reunion of the 1983 Christie's Beach Premiership side, which was coached by Trevor Potts, who then later went on and coached
I know Pottsy,
at Morphett Vale and took them to a few premierships. That was his first premiership win in the Southern Footy League way back in '83. So it was pretty fitting that Christie's played Morphett Vale on that day. And a bit of controversy, bloke took a mark after the siren and played on and kicked a goal and Morphett Vale got over the line by a point. So, yeah.
So he's
a bit of controversy.
So hang on, he's marked the ball.
Yep.
Siren's gone.
Yep.
End the game.
Yep.
Then he played on.
Yeah.
And kicked a goal.
Yeah.
And it's counted.
Well, it's in the scorebook.
So it's counted.
Yeah.
So it's counted, and they lose by a point.
Yeah.
Was there a little bit of how do you do after the game, or?
Well, my phone started ringing pretty hot. What's going on here?
Happened. Yeah. Something's going on.
Especially if 10 to 5 on a Saturday afternoon, if the phone starts ringing, there's something happening.
You know something's going on, as the president, for sure. Some great games, though.
I was going to say, tell me about Flagstaff Hill.
Brilliant at the moment.
That's some massive wins.
Yeah, look, that was the first time. That was our tribe match of the day. We did the live broadcast from there.
Yep.
It was... The scores weren't reflective of and we say that quite often, that wasn't reflective of the game. There was only 2 goals in it at three-quarter time.
Three-quarter time.
And Flagstaff Hill were coming home with the breeze.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And then just went bang, 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 kicked 9 goals to nothing in the last quarter, which blew the score out. But Happy Valley it's the first time we'd seen them this year as well, so pretty impressed with that particular game.
At Flagstaff?
It was at Flagstaff, and they had a huge crowd there. Yeah. Of course, Sammy Jacobs doesn't get any smaller. Took control in that last quarter up forward and kicked 3 goals.
It must be difficult for other teams to try and counteract.
Yeah, but in saying that, he certainly didn't get his own way when he was in the ruck. Young Dyer Sturzel from Happy Valley, young 22-year-old, with a really good leap, really took it up to Source, and Source really had a chat to him after the game and said, mate, keep that up and you're on your way type of thing. But it's just been a really good fit for the Flagstaff Hill Footy Club getting Sammy there. He's a very good friend of Sammy Tharrelson's because they both work with the Crows AFL group. But also it was great to catch up with Zane Kirkwood, who's coaching out there now. And what a great gentleman he is.
Oh, he's a fantastic fella. Now, mate, the Mighty Cobras. Let's talk about the Mighty Cobras. Having a win over Aldinga.
8-pointer.
8-pointer. Yep. Good on you, boys. They're back. Well, not they're back. They didn't go anywhere, but they've...
they got a win.
They've got 2 points. They've got 2 points.
They have. And speaking to Ray, and Ray's been in here, they're a work in progress. And We saw them the week before against Noarlunga, and there was only a few, 14 points in the end over Noarlunga beating them. So, yeah, look, they're going to take some time, but they're certainly going in the right direction. And our match of the day this week will be Happy Valley, and Cove from Arctic Park.
Cobbler Park, yeah.
No, Arctic Park.
I'll let them know you said that.
Mate,
They'll give you a nice
it is
little
so cold when that wind comes up off the ocean, up the valley. It's unbelievable. Freezing
time,
cold.
mate.
Hey?
It's football, winter time.
Oh,
Get over it. Wear a jacket.
oh yeah, even with a jacket.
Southern Footy League will be played from October to March next year.
No, that's crayfish.
Because the press gets a bit nippy.
I did have a look, and the two undefeated teams, Flagstaff Hill, Noarlunga, don't play each other till round 9. Do you think they'll both remain undefeated until then?
Certainly Flagstaff Hill, there's a strong possibility. Noarlunga had a good win over Port Noarlunga, Jars's team, last week.
Yeah.
They're a tough unit, Noarlunga, always have been. And if you get them on a home game, they are very, very. It's like the old ports down at Alberton. Once you go down into the horseshoe, it's pretty hard to get out. It's a bit like going past Cheltenham Cemetery on the way to Alberton. But always hard to beat. And again, quite possible that could get to the stage where it's match of the day.
Okay, mate, we'll have a quick look at next week because there's some really good games. Cove Happy Valley is the first one.
Yeah, try match of the day.
You'll be at, and that's at Cove. We just mentioned that. What's your thoughts there?
Toss of a coin. I was really impressed with Happy Valley. I think they might just get the chocolates.
Okay. Morphett Vale, Port Noarlunga?
This is going to be a beauty. Jars apparently wasn't all that happy with the result against Noarlunga. Morphett Vale seemed to be struggling a little bit. Had a really bad injury to their star player Anthony Beamans. Did an ACL in the Digger Day game. So they're taking a little bit of time to recoup. I just think Porties might get that one.
Okay.
Uh,
Flagstaff Hill playing Aldinga. Just cross your fingers?
Yeah, no, not so much cross the fingers. Aldinga, if you go back and have a look at the books, only 2 weeks ago, Ranella, who were one of our strongest sides, only beaten them by 5 goals. Yeah.
So you're picking Aldinga to beat Flagstaff?
No, I'm not picking No, but in saying that, they'll give a really good account of themselves. And I'm expecting a reasonably sort of game. I still think Flagstaff will win and win comfortably, but there's a lot of good things happening with Stoney down there at Aldinga. Okay,
the last one is Ranella Christie's Beach, very quickly, mate. What do you think there?
Well, Christie's unlucky last week, as we've mentioned, but look, we saw Ranella in the game against Morphett Vale in the Diggers Day game. I was really impressed with them. They've unearthed a couple of youngsters as well, and Ranella at home. Okay, good on you, mate. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Terrific. Wear the big jacket down at Cove Park there on the weekend. And the beanie and everything else. Tell you what, mate, if the boys see this show here and you turn up there on the weekend, they're going to give you something, I would reckon. There might be a coat waiting for you. Bit of sting in the coat. Or it might be a coat hanging. Thanks for joining us, mate. The president of the Southern Football League, Craig Warman, was our special guest. Back with more in just a moment.